Diversity? Not the best pilots you can find? The ones with the most hours of experience? Ones who've done it before? Maybe?
Famous actor and stand-up comedian Rob Schneider was reportedly booed off stage on 2 separate occasions. The entertainment icon was said to have performed a set of controversial jokes against the woke community. His jokes were said to be centered around women and the trans community, which according to the woke media are an untouchable set of individuals who no one should risk offending, even if it's in a comedy show where everyone receives a silly jab once in a while. Comedy, according to the woke community, is now a tool of bigotry and hate, even though we all agree that it's only an effective tool for hilariously passing across the painful truths that most of us do not want to hear. Rob Schneider has always been a fan favorite due to his countless movies and performances, which have solidified him as a household name in the American entertainment industry. But he has recently become the target of the weaponization of the media, and now he has become an enemy to the so-called progressive left due to his controversial statements. But in reality, Schneider has only spoken the bitter truth that the majority of the woke media hate to be told. Welcome once again to this channel. Hit the like and subscribe button to stay updated on all our latest content. Rob Schneider was booed off stage on the 1st of June at a charity event this year. This surprisingly is the second time he would get kicked off the stage at a performance in about the space of a month. The recent development is obviously due to his insistence on joking about the insanity of the woke left and the liberals. Schneider himself has been a liberal and Democrat for most of his life, but recent developments in the definition of what a liberal is in today's America have left him with no choice but to switch his political opinions. Many now believe that insanity and misalignment with facts and reality are what being a liberal is all about, but old-time liberal Democrats like Schneider know very well that this is false. It is for this stance that Rob Schneider is being canceled and hounded all over the woke media.
You know, very anti-vaccinations, very against trans folks, even quite a few misogynistic things, I would say. So I went up and asked to speak to the organizers of the event.
Rob Schneider is a true icon and someone who can be described as a patriot because regardless of what is becoming popular amongst the people, he stands for what is best for America and the interest of its people. You see, Rob is still of the old school opinion that women cannot have male genitalia. He believes that the word women refers to female adult humans. Remember that this is simple biology and proven scientific facts, not personal opinions. But these reasons are enough for the woke media to call for his cancellation. The fact he is not intimidated by the weaponization of the media against those who are bold enough to state basic truths is a huge problem for the woke media. Whether or not the woke left continues its media suffocation and cancel culture, there are many who will not fall for the sham called woke and progressive ideologies. Many would still see through the insanity and definitely call a spade a spade. In a popular speech, Schneider pointed out how terrible it would be if the wokeness in the state of California spread totally over America. A state that now wanted to pay slave reparations to black citizens who themselves were never slaves with the funds of those who never owned slaves in a state that historically had no slaves. The false empathy and sensitivity peddled by the woke left are so severe that they have successfully broadened the racial and gender divide among the American people. The woke movement has been proven time and again to have no actual benefits. Instead, it is notorious for turning civilians and impressionable students into aggressive and unreasonable fanatics who go haywire with rage when being pointed in the right direction. Our universities today are bearing the burdens of this irrationality. Schneider pointed out the absurdity of LGBT protesters fighting and protesting on behalf of terrorist groups like Hamas in faraway Palestine. Terrorist groups who have no sympathy for what the queer community stands for. The trans movement has also remained a major reason for Rob Schneider's newfound hatred among the woke community. Apparently, they are a revered sect that takes offense to any controversial joke made about them. They forget that comedy is created for this very reason. No one cares about your sensitivity in a comedy show. As long as it is hilarious, anyone can be made fun of, and until recently, this used to be just okay. But it seems not even comics and jokers are given the liberty to oppose the woke ideologies in any form or manner. It is now deemed an unarguable school of thought, and anyone who dares to do otherwise is dealt with by the totalitarian movement, backed up by an equally dictatorial government known to fight and prosecute their political enemies by weaponizing the justice system. The hypocrisy of the woke left is so appalling and obvious. They claim to represent equality and inclusion, and yet they are known to be very loud about their hatred towards those they consider as bigots and transphobic. When would these people realize that not everyone shares the same views as those of the trans community? When will they realize that America was built on the very values of liberty and freedom of speech? These days, the divide across race and gender is leading to a collapse of society, but the woke left seems just fine with the developments. No wonder many conservatives believe that the breakdown of law and order is the actual aim of the woke media. The government is not doing anything to disprove this assertion, as just recently the American borders were flung open and illegal aliens are now given more attention than tax-paying citizens and their families. Rob Schneider, in one of his speeches filled with hilarious remarks and insightful statements, pointed out how the French Revolution in 1789 only lasted for 4 years, but how America, after the First Amendment in 1791, which contained the ideas of free speech and liberty in the Constitution with values, has lasted for over 232 years. But sadly, the era of such freedom and liberty seems to be coming to a sad end, and the American people are faced with a problem never seen before. They battle against forces who employ the very media that is supposed to give expression to freedom and use them as tools to silence and suffocate opposing views. Schneider pointed out how billion-dollar corporations and social media empires, which are now mostly left-leaning in political orientation, use their influence to silence and control what the people are allowed to hear. The use of cancel culture by the left is evident that the fundamental freedoms our founding fathers once enjoyed and propagated are now under attack and severely at risk of going into extinction. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, as it helps support our work. Thank you. The trend of famous stars and icons getting canceled and antagonized for speaking up for their beliefs is no longer a new occurrence. It is now common knowledge that Hollywood and the mainstream media are a hotbed of woke ideologies and a breeding ground for a totalitarian movement engaged in silencing every view that disagrees with theirs. The fact that adults support the attempt to allow children to be deceived into undergoing surgeries to change their genders is appalling. The idea that it is okay for men to compete in women's sports was not one anyone would have foreseen just a few years back, but apparently that is what is in vogue now. Men are winning beauty pageants organized for women, and men are being awarded prizes meant for the Woman of the Year. The limit of this insanity seems endless, and we can only hope that more people like Rob Schneider will step up and speak out against this madness, regardless of the media backlash and onslaught. It is only when people who are not scared of falling out of favor with the totalitarian movement of the extreme left begin to speak out and take action that we will begin to see actual results, because as it is now, giving up this struggle is not an option. The fate of the American children and its future depends on those willing to stand up for truth. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end. See you in the next video. Bye.